Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's Severed Chains Devstream. Tonight I have Elepri with me again, and we're continue our quest to functional music.
Hello.
So I've taken a couple of steps to try and improve my mic quality a bit. I've added some noise gating and noise reduction that will kind of improve things a little bit. Let me know if it ends up being a little bit too strong and I end up getting cut off. Just to make sure, anyone in the watching on YouTube, can you let me know how it sounds? Sounds like it's good. So to start out with, I'm actually going to demonstrate some of the Lepri has made sequence music player. So I'm going to play first off the song that formerly had surprise pipe organ. So as you can hear, it's sounding much, much better. We still need to implement modulation, which will take it another step further, but it's definitely sounding a lot better. Demonstrate well.
Just a quick note. Some of them might break because of the lack of the ADSR change commands.
Yeah, that's another thing that we still need to.
There are very few songs that have sort of like mute on channels that's not implemented using the key off. So those might use a little more than the 24 voices that are provided by the engine.
Right.
What I've done is that we can increase the amount of sources that you can play at the same time. In case you want to play those.
Yeah, right. This sounds very nearly perfect, and we're not even done yet.
Yeah, the reason why the previous version sounded better in certain songs is there was a bug that was forcing sustain on everything. Even though sustain wasn't implemented, it just wasn't decaying sounds properly. So now it should be fine, and we just need to implement the sustain values, the sustain, so it does play for the sounds that are supposed to be sustaining.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start tonight, Lepri? I'm thinking maybe we could start with the inventory music, the 5-file system, the different subfiles.
Sure, we can do that. I have a rough draft of what needs to be done in the sound factory.
Okay.
These switches should probably be rewritten to only get the indexes, because the logic's gonna be pretty similar. So most likely the thing inside of the case blocks is not gonna be entirely necessary.
Right. Okay, so I see you
Um,
got the 5 file version.
yes.
Um, Let me remember where exactly it is that the oh, it's load music package. I was gonna say I have to remember where music packages are loaded. That's pretty obvious. Um, so in the music package loaded method, you can see there's special handling if there's 5 files, and if not, then it uses standard variant. So I think we can write. That's what that extra file is. The extra file, it tells the number of extra sound banks that there are.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that file index 1, um, that is the number of sound banks that are used. I'd completely forgotten about that. So if we go to 5815, which is open up this file, you can see this uses a total of 3 sound banks. So this is number 1, the standard one, and then I want to say that the other sound banks just follow that. So this is yeah, bank. Yeah, this is how it works.
Uh, okay, so in that case,
Yeah, you can see there's 2 extra sound banks because number 1 is package.
oh, okay, so that's the only thing that I think is breaking in the loader. If you try to load this very song, I think it's gonna complain about offset of the into the sound bank.
Entry is null.
Yes, yes, it's trying to. It sounds like it's trying to load a sound bank that does not exist.
Yeah, I think so. 2G is saying that the sound is going in and out. I'm just going to turn off the noise gating for now, and hope that the noise suppression will work well enough, just to make sure that doesn't happen. I have to spend some time and kind of tweak it to get everything working perfectly.
This is actually a good question of how do we want to handle that in the unpacker. I currently have it set up that you provide it with a folder. So I guess we could just uh, navigate one folder up and use the number of the folder and plus one it.
Yeah,
Or we
I
could
think
handle that
rather
in the
for now at
unpacker. And
least, for now at least, I think we probably just want to just pass in like the uh, dragon index.
Mhm,
We can look into maybe um, doing something in the unpacker later.
mhm.
Yeah,
I might.
Fanger, I am a notoriously quiet person. I've literally got my mic jacked up to like maximum.
Yeah, I did some looking into if this could be converted into MIDI,
Yeah.
and I run into an issue like everything works. The issue is the ADSR. It's simply not in the spec of MIDI. And if you have something that supports ADSR, it's gonna be pretty much a um, very like enterprise grade hardware and software package that's gonna cost thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can truly do a MIDI conversion. There's just no good spot where to place the ADSR, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, we could still keep those as just custom messengers, which the MIDI spec does support. Obviously, they wouldn't sound fully correct when played in a standard MIDI player, but it would allow you to author them in a standard MIDI editor.
Mhm.
Whether we do end up going that route or not, who knows?
The thing I'm worried about isn't really the playback on the game side that we have handled fairly well, and I think at this point we understand pretty much everything it's supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Uh, the, what kind what is the reason why I would like to at least convert it to MIDI? Maybe a solution could be on Unpack, make this into an OGG file.
Make which part into OGG file?
The all of the sounds.
The sound banks.
Not really the sound banks. I mean, like using a virtual, essentially sequencing the audio for all of the. It's only about 14 files per character, and make them into an OGG and just play the sound instead of sequencing it.
For the sound effects, you mean?
Yeah, for the sound effects, not for the main music because that would be kind of insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably reasonable.
Because the sound effects are not gonna be very loopy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't need the
And that was
character ID.
the about looking into the MIDI conversion wasn't really that it would be easier on our part, but it would be easier on modders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I suppose we're going to have to make the sound font parameter variadic, or at least accept a array,
For what?
since some can have multiple. Unless we just turn it into like a meta sound bank or something that can load multiple of the sound bank
Uh,
files.
yeah, the question is how are the sound banks indexed from the instrument?
Um, they're
That just
just
load them
they're
after.
SPU RAM, right? They're just loaded directly into SPU RAM. So I would imagine that uh,
They're sequential.
yeah, they just have the offset, right?
Okay, so an easier way to do this, instead of making a multiple sound banks uh, and doing the switch, we can just merge the files together. And I think it should be entirely fine.
Mm.
if we just have them in one sound bank, which I think is how the game will expect the files to be anyway, so it will be the least amount of work.
Yeah, I think that will be fine. Okay, so let's get these loaded here.
Do you actually have a method for joining files in the unpacker?
Um, no, but the entire point of the file data uh, class is to basically make that easy.
Yeah, because if you all just make them into one file data object and just pass that object in instead of the instead instead of just one of them, it should just work.
Okay. Um, so let's just do that then. So we're going to say extra sound banks equals. So this is going to be sect/dragon0.bin slash file index plus I plus 1. By the way, for paths, just use /.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work everywhere. Okay, and then we are going to do main sound bank. Actually, I'm not even going to bother doing that. I'm just going to make this sound banks period. Then this is going to be sound bank count. This will give us the total size, and then we can just do something, um, something like final file data. Actually, byte.
We just copy it in.
Yep, exactly. So we're just going to allocate a byte array that is the total size, and then we can just copy. So this is just going to basically be soundbank dot uh, copy from source offset is going to be soundbank dot offset. Actually, does it automatically offset? Yes, it does. Okay. So then that will just be 0. The destination is all sound banks. The destination offset is offset. The size is soundbank dot size. And then this will just be new file data, all sound banks. Now I wonder if this is just going to work. That would be something. Nope,
In
sure
theory, it
isn't.
should. Why is entry null though?
So let's see what our entries are. So it's not finding the offset, so it's not loading correctly. So let's trace through this create sound font method and
Wait,
see
is
where
it
it's
using?
breaking down. Okay, so do we have subfile 0? Yes, we do. So let's look at new sound bank. So we've got a size of 67 to 96. So let's just make sure that that is sane. Yeah, 67 to 96. And if we look at all of the different sound banks here, we do have 3. This is wrong. And the reason is because I didn't remove this -1 here. Okay, so I'm going to give this another quick run and just see if it works before we debug. Well, look at that. It doesn't sound good. In fact, it sounds terrible. Voice pool overflow. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks like the. Okay, let's figure out then. Can you give me the file number for this?
Yeah, 5815. Let me commit this actually. Load multiple sound banks for account 5.
So what I'm thinking is happening is that we got the sounds in the wrong order.
Um, so I know that that's not true because they are loaded very, very simply here. It is just sequential, for sure.
And is it sequential in this order, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, it starts as 0 and loops to the number of extra sound banks. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it is it is ascending.
But it's finding the sounds at the correct offsets, which is weird. Because if it was wrong, it would complain about the sounds not having the offset that it was looking for, right?
Hmm. What is key on reset?
A key on reset just means the sound is already playing and you want to play it the second time.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of very short messages here. This is definitely one of the more complex sounds. However, I mean the combat is far more complex than this and it's working fine, so I would say there's definitely something else up here. There may be some other differences between these 5 sound packages and the 4 sound packages.
I really I was thinking that maybe it loaded the different flags for the longer methods, but then it would just break. Or just have some insanely large delta time somewhere,
Yeah,
which doesn't seem to be the case.
let's analyze the method here a little bit more. Normal Guy Cap asks, what are we currently working on? We are working on music and sound effects. Uh, we have one type of music working really well now, and we are working on another type that uses multiple sound banks um, for like longer or more complicated music in the game, and we're hoping to get that working tonight.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, I
These
don't think so.
libraries.
So let's take a look at comparing these two methods. It seems they are very, very similar. Um, so there's the extra two fields, number of extra sound banks, of course, that's just the number of extra sound banks. And this SPU RAM offset just gets set to the size of the original sound bank, and that's just so it knows at what point in RAM to load the additional sound banks to. That's not used for anything else. Yeah. Yeah, you can see here it just gets loaded into the root address for the music sound bank, plus this, and then it adds the size of the additional sound bank in.
Mm-hmm.
Now this
Let me.
finalizer method, however, okay, look at this. So, for everything except for the last additional sound bank, it does just a very simple DMA. It ships that data straight to the SPU. Now for the last one, what is this variable? Okay, so we've got something else here that is potentially doing something, setting 28 to 1 and E0 to 0 if it has subfile 0 and if 27 is 1. So that only happens if this variable has bit 1 set, which is set to the parameter here. And that is going to be triggered by none of those. Those are all 0. Let me make sure I don't have any of these commented out still. Yeah, those are all 0. Okay, so not that. Now what about this? Those are all 0 as well. Okay, so that's only going to happen if a script dictates it, which is unfortunate because God knows. We are going to, actually here, what I'm going to do is just going to do quick and dirty here, add this check and a breakpoint to each of these methods just so if we are playing and that happens, we will know and we'll be able to see what's going on. Hey Ninja. So aside from this, aside from that little tangent, um, these do look exactly the same,
Mm-hmm.
although, oh, look at this. So that same thing is happening here. Um, just immediately since we're only loading one sound bank. So it seems we have never seen an instance for the 4-file packages of that bit being set. However, okay, so some stuff is being set here when they're loaded. Have you handled this stuff? Looks like
No.
the tempo is set.
Wait. If the tempo is getting set, that might be for the SFX, because if you look into the SFX files, they do not have any tempo or text per quarter note.
No, this is for music packages specifically.
For the 5 files ones or the 4 file ones?
For the 4-file ones.
The 4 file...
The 5-file ones may be doing this downstream. That method is being called at least.
The thing is, the SFX also has 4 files.
Yes, but this is the music package loaded, not for the sound.
Oh, so it's specific packages for each
Yeah.
one of those. Okay.
So what is this method doing? This is that same method that is setting whatever these are. Oops. Yeah, I have literally no idea what's going on here.
It might be a thing that's just not used at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced of that, but let's not worry about it too much. So yeah, it's grabbing the tempo, it's multiplying it by the tempo scale. Tempo scale is always 256 unless set by the script engine. So scripts can adjust the tempo scale. So keep that in mind.
And by tempo scale, you probably mean text by quarter note, right?
No, it is a 8-bit fixed point multiplier. So OX 100 means 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see this? So it's multiplied by the tempo scale and then shifted right by 8. So that's an 8-bit fixed point.
Mm-hmm. I am just thinking...
So definitely write that down, because that's probably going to come into play somewhere. We're going to wonder why a
Yeah,
song is
can you
playing at the
put that
wrong speed.
somewhere in comments or something?
Yeah, so I'll put that on the sound test here. I will make a to-do at the top, and I'm just going to say see that. Now it is possible that the fact that this method's not getting called for the 5 file packages is the reason that the uh, inventory menu music is not playing. Oh wait, no, sorry, it is playing now, so never mind. It wasn't playing at one point a long time ago, but that is no longer an issue. Um, so yeah, aside from this, these are equivalent. Not entirely sure what's going on in this method here. It is called once the music is loaded. Seems to be setting some volume, looping through all of the currently playing notes, seeing if that note matches the sound
Okay,
and
okay,
matches
okay,
the
okay,
sequence
okay.
data.
One thing I see here that's really interesting is the volume, the channel info volume OE. So that equals regular volume times.
Times volume, which is a value that is being passed in. So 40, that's just hard-coded.
So I don't think that's volume.
What would you say it is then?
Uh, that
We can
might
check if
be
it's volume
10.
very easily. I'll set this to 10 and see if it's quiet, then set it higher and see if it's loud. Yeah, it's super quiet. And now if we set this up to, let's say, 60, it should be quite loud.
Okay, so that gives us one more thing that's left to implement.
Yep, absolutely volume.
And those are these values that are setting up channels based on the values that are not set in it. Because I feel like PitchPad is gonna be one of those.
Yeah, I would say so.
It every time it's loaded to set up to 0 or to 64. Just no PitchPad.
Okay, so at the very least we have the additional sound bank loading functioning. However, we are having issues with the sequencer. There's something weird going on with the inventory menu music. It's playing too fast. You hear that, right? It's playing far too fast.
So the thing is the method was overloading the tempo scale, wasn't it?
What do you mean? Oh, yes.
So if
Um,
that's the case, if just the tempo was wrong, this would cause that, right?
so that is set via a script, which scripts don't run that early in the game. I've got breakpoints there, and when we go into, see, no breakpoints. You can hear how great it sounds in the current rendition of the code. It's very avant-garde. It's like an octopus on a drum kit. But hey, it doesn't crash. So,
Let's look into the files and see what we have as the actual tempo. Wait a second. This looks like an incredibly high number.
okay.
So let's look into channel. Oh no, it's not a channel. It's gonna be sequence. Maybe? No. The background music? What is it reading the SSSQ file? Let me find this. Okay, it's SSSQ is already passed into it. So, tempo is read as unsigned short. And as unsigned short, it is no wait, that's 250. That's fine.
I missed. I do not want to run it with coverage.
Let's just check what the value for tempo and for what the other thing actually is. You want to get into SSSQ, not SSHD.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there's anything interesting there. So for tempo, we are getting 250.
250 for tempo is
It's quite
correct.
high.
And for ticks per quarter note, we should have 480.
Yep. So I mean, a tempo of 250 is pretty high. It's certainly not unheard of, but it is definitely high. Um, I wonder if maybe we are not actually handling tempo correctly, and it is currently just coincidentally working for the other sounds that we're playing.
Um, I was changing some stuff about tempo to get it to work.
Okay, I'm going to try loading a few other packages and see what their tempos are. Okay, so we've got 126 here. That is 80, so that's quite low. Still within reason though. That was world map 1. This is world map 2. That is a tempo of 89. So I'm wondering if there's something up with us handling this higher tempo.
Yeah, cause 250 is
Like that's a very high tempo, for sure.
okay. What if the first bit is some kind of a flag?
I'm going to load this up in severed chains using the retailish code and just kind of see what we get here. Huh. Oh, sorry. I went into the wrong method. Or the wrong, whatever the hell this is. Let me see. Actually, sorry. I will be back in 1 moment.
Hmm. Okay, let's look into if there's something about MIDI tempo that we are missing.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to pop into the SSSQ loader for that method. Yeah, Resonant Blade says, I tapped the tempo of the OG inventory theme into Mixcraft and got a tempo of 90, and it is a fairly downbeat song. I mean, it's not out of the question that they set it up as 250 beats per minute, but it's pretty extreme. So let's see what we get here.
Oh,
So we are getting, it is reading in 250 and 480 in retail as well.
it's correct. I know what's missing. We look into the sequence, or rather maybe the background music. It's not doing anything on the tempo change message. And if you look into the sequence, there's a little bit of a start at the beginning, and
Is it doing
then
a
it
tempo
starts.
change?
And then it's doing a tempo change to 95.
Ah. Well, there you go, Resident. You were very close. It's 95.
So it pretty much only sets up the settings for the channels at the very high tempo. Maybe that's why they set it up so high, is to do the changes as quickly as possible, because they had to use the minimum of 10 ticks wait periods at some times.
Yeah, it's possible.
And yeah, so we need to add a case to the background music for the meta event.
Yeah. So where do meta events get handled? Were those handled outside?
Um, like, it isn't the greatest right now, but it should probably be handled in the no, you can't. The audio thread is not handling this. You have to go into the SFX package and go into the background. Yeah, here in the switch statement, you can just add it.
Okay, so you do have meta, but we just aren't handling it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna add a default here and just and let's just take a look at what this looks like.
It should throw that pretty much like instantly.
Yeah, unhandled meta. And we've got some bad control messages as well. 63 and 6.
63 is a loop, and 6 is a data entry. So I think 63 and 6 in this order is setting up start of a loop.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's case meta. And, okay, I'm gonna bring up my documentation here.
The way I set it up is, I think in the value 1 should be the tempo. That you should be just able to change the tempo on the SSSQ itself. If you just change tempo in the SSSQ, it should just work.
Okay.
Because the sequence does read the meta event, and it loads
Ah, here we go.
into the value 2. Okay, why am I loading it into... Oh, right, because the value 1 is the command, because it's handled like garbage.
Okay, so SSSQ does do tempo change different than MIDI. It appears that yeah, SSSQ just does tempo as a short period.
Yep. If you just go back to background music, what you want to do is you just want to pass in probably command.value1 and command.value2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then in the meta thing, if just name the first one command and the second one value. And then if command is equal to hex 51,
I just want to make sure we're getting what we're expecting here. Yeah, no worries, Felicity. We'll see you around. We aren't doing a stream on Friday, however. We just finished our playthrough, and we're taking a little break. But I'll be continuing to do the dev streams for the foreseeable future. We will be back with more Severed Chains playthroughs as well, too.
have
Just not
you
Friday.
considered have you considered maybe moving the dev streams to Friday?
Um, that might not be a bad idea, for the time being at least. I'm not sure exactly how quickly Drew plans to resume doing playthroughs.
Mhm.
We do have some other stuff planned as well that's not strictly playthroughs, just sort of more podcasty style stuff. We're gonna
Mhm.
play around with a few things and different topics and stuff, and but we will be doing some more kind of themed playthroughs as well, like doing Zachronix's hard mode and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty interesting.
Okay, so it looks like we are getting the expected values here.
Yep.
We
Okay,
can just
so I'm going to do a switch command, even though we're only going to be handling one right now. What was it, 5F?
5F.
51.
Oh, yeah, 51, 51. 5F is the value that we're getting.
Tempo
And you
change,
want
preset
to
D.
just get the this dot SSSQ and
And we're going to need to expose tempo or add a way to change the tempo.
just make a setter.
Okay, so we need to unfinalize that. Um, we are also going to need to change ticks per millisecond.
Yes, you need to recalculate them.
Okay, so this is going to be this dot set tempo. I forgot what that was.
Actually, maybe don't expose tempo, just make a
What was... Right, okay. We need to pass that in as well. Actually, rather than... I'm gonna do...
you can just save the ticks per quarter nodes. You're gonna have to save them
Oh,
as a
true.
parameter of uh, then you don't have to pass that in, yeah. The second constructor, you just need to change this, yeah.
Set tempo to value. Then I'm gonna do a default as well, and... Oops. As error... actually, I'll do a printf. Um, unhandled meta event %d value %d.
It should be end of tracks pretty much right now.
Yeah, I think that's the only other one. And we delete that. Alright, let's see what happens. Much better.
Sounds like the menu music.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit better when we're not trying to play it at 3 times its expected speed.
And it doesn't look like it's overloading the voices anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I spoke too soon.
Okay, let's check what happens before. Wait, no. It just ended because there's a hard stop. Can
No,
you
it
just
says it's voice pool overflow. It wasn't a
and
hard stop.
wait, where? Where though? I didn't.
It happened when the beat picked up a bit. Let me play this again. Do you want to hop on YouTube so you can hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me know when you're there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm
Okay.
there. But it's throwing. It shouldn't be.
So yeah, right when it starts panning and stuff, uh, it starts like actually cutting out. I'm not sure if that's picking up on the YouTube stream, but it starts crackling and yeah, we're starting to see much lower delta times.
That might be issue with the reverb or sustain. But what's more interesting is if you scroll up, I don't see any unhandled event though, which is scary.
There's definitely something going on when it reaches that secondary part of the song. We start
That
seeing,
just might be sustain. Like
yeah,
it's
so the
possible.
the point where the delta times get much smaller and it starts panning around. Um, at that point in the song, like I said, I'm not sure if it picked up on YouTube or not, but the audio started crackling and then it overflowed.
Crackling might be an issue with the ADSR envelope.
Hmm. Hey, Chris. Yeah, okay, they're saying it picked up on YouTube as well.
Hmm. I'm wondering, or if the index into the sound bank, or like the position, it could be not properly reset on resets.
Hmm.
Okay, if let me check what I'm doing on key on reset.
By the way, you should always do the log before you do the thing. So in case the thing crashes, we still see that what it was trying to do when it crashed.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, yeah. Okay, that calls a key on. Key on. Itself does what? That is actually that should be resetting the sound font entry index to 0. I just hate navigating between interfaces and
Yeah, me too.
return is that entry, and that returns a new sound bank entry. So that shouldn't be the case.
I just pushed the code that we just wrote to fix the tempo changes, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Like usually what happens when you get crackling is when you go straight up to some like high value instead of going smoothly. That's like what the attack on ADSR does. It prevents crackling.
hmm It is also possible to happen if you're like underflowing the buffer or something.
Yes.
But I am somewhat familiar with handling audio stuff, but I'm not familiar enough to know which of those things would be causing this particular type of crackling.
What I'm thinking is that like there's one stuff that I've considered a possible issue for the ADSR envelope. And that's the fact that if you start it, it will immediately start going up on the very first tick.
Okay.
And I am not entirely sure that happens in retail. But this might be a time for
So, I mean,
um,
it certainly appears that the ADSR does. Well, hold on. What is this ADSR counter?
it's just counting how many cycles to
Okay,
return the
yeah,
same value for.
yeah. Okay, so that's unrelated.
What is it? ADSR generator. Okay, so in the no cache documentation, it says ADSR cycles. One shift to the left. ADSR step is step value shift to the left. And if exponential, if an increased, if exponential and decrease. and then it waits the ADSR cycles. And only after that it sets the ADSR level to the step. And I'm wondering if this is related. Because if you look at the current code for ADSR, the one that I used some of the emulators scored partially for,
Yep.
it will start ticking it on the very first tick. It will go immediately to the first value instead of staying at 0.
Yeah, so it should only start when the voice is keyed on.
Yes, and it should be 0 for a little bit before going up to whatever value is defined by the attack. So in theory, when the phases are generated,
So you've got right in the constructor you have it set to attack, but that should probably start at off, right?
no, it has to start at attack. This is fine. The issue is that the counter should probably start at the ADSR step shift to the left. To whatever the int ADSR step is set on, it should probably be that, but for attack.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Like the thing is the counter, it tells you how many samples to wait before the next value. And in the actual code, the first value is 0. But here in this code, the first value will start at 1.
So we,
Because
we need,
here you're
do we not need to change this so that the ADSR envelope has a key on as well?
no, it always should start at attack. Or there isn't really a need to start at, because you're never gonna start at anything else but attack. And you always
Okay,
start ticking
so
at
on
the
the key on the ADSR envelope is allocated.
yes,
So it
yes,
is implicitly starting on key on. So that sounds fine.
yes. The only issue I think it's starting at attack of the value of attack at the position 1 instead of position 0.
Okay, so how do
So
we
if
address
you have,
that?
we need to set the counter to the ADSR step for attack. And that might prove a little annoying. And we might need to do that in the ADSR phase. Huh. No. We need to do that in the ADSR envelope. So if you go to phases 0, then we can get step from it. is the actual calculation is in GAT. Okay, okay, we need both step and shift. Step and shift. So this dot counter. You just PM the value. Or I'll just put it into the modding channel. Probably easiest. Check if I have ADSR step. This dot current level, yeah, plus ADSR step. So this should be setting the values.
Hey Chocolate, what's up? Okay, so you didn't break everything, that's good. Wow, I am just clicking on every wrong thing possible tonight.
Like for the stuff where you didn't hear a difference, it should make it that the change is so small that no one's gonna notice.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what this sounds like, see if this fixes anything. Nope. Still the same, still crackling. I also don't really remember it panning so hard.
Yeah, it might be a panning issue.
Let me see, Legend of Dragoon inventory music. Yeah, I'm not hearing much panning at all here.
I'm not sure this
It's
actually
possible
has
it's
any
not in stereo, so that was quite low quality. Okay, this one's better. Yeah, there's definitely some serious panning going on our end. I'm gonna play this again so I can watch it on the monitor and see. So there's definitely some crackling happening earlier in the song too. I keep kind of hearing it. Yeah, it's just right there. Oh yeah, that is extreme. So our panning is almost completely shutting off the opposite channel.
Yeah, that's because I've set it up to be 90%. Let's try a very, very, very interesting thing. Just try to go into the core audio offsets and try to multiply the division of the last two pan things by 2.
Why is one of these 256 and the other 254?
That's for a very specific reason, because the table is actually asymmetrical.
Okay.
It might be in the other direction. You'll just hear it. How?
Oh, not quite.
I mean, like multiply it by 2, not divide by 2.
That's what I did. Like multiplying by 2 would be the same as decreasing the amount that it's divided by.
Yeah, but like I meant multiply the value it was divided by.
Okay. So divide by another 2. Sorry, headphone people. Hey, Droust. Yeah, we're working on music. We've made quite a bit of progress so far tonight. Yeah, that's still way, way too strong. It hasn't changed how strong it is, it's just made it quieter overall.
Oh, right. Because I'm doing I dot pi. How does this work? Did I implement everything correctly here?
I have no idea.
Because there has to be sine and cosine there, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Shouldn't this be done using... Yeah, there should be a sign. Um, that was exactly what I was going to say. Let me see exactly how it's done in the original sequencer.
It's gonna be using some lookup table.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Let me just check if I'm using sine or cosine in the sample voice thing. Yeah, so I'm just multiplying, so it should be using sine and cosine.
Yeah, yeah, they're just using these lookup tables here.
Okay, now it's time to figure out what I was trying to do there.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that's what the issue is.
So essentially, one of those values should be sine 0 to 90. And the other one should be sine 90 to 0.
Interestingly, these tables are pretty linear. Yeah, it looks like they're actually using a completely linear table here. Each step is just 0x8. So dividing the pan value by 4, and it's left and right. So full right, it starts out with. So if pan is 0, yeah, that would be full right. Um, okay, Elepri, take a look at this.
Hmm.
This is the pan table. I don't know if you can see these values. These alternate between left and right values. Um, oh, sorry, the table starts right here. So 0 is full left, so it's 80 left, 0 right. Then the next
Mhm.
value is 80 left, 8 right. Um, so you can see the left channel actually remains full until we reach the midpoint. Once we hit the midpoint of the table, the left channel starts decreasing and the right channel goes 100% full. So it's not as complicated. It's just clamped linear, right?
Yeah, but that's gonna sound significantly worse than if we syn it.
Sure. But if we want this to sound like retail, we may want to
Yeah,
implement
yeah.
the panned audio as they have.
Mm-hmm.
So they're dividing the value by 4. What is the size of this table? Um, 32 values, or 32 pairs, I should say. So what is the offset at which the left channel starts decreasing? 5A. So
Wait,
that's
aren't they using
16
something
values in.
clever? Because there's only 32 pairs. They should
They're
only go
dividing the pan value by 4. So they've just decreased the size of the table by truncating some data.
Oh, okay, so they're using only every fourth value.
Yeah. Um, so what is this going to look like? So this is going to be so you're doing 128. So that's okay. I think I see what you're doing here. So it's going to look something like pan I equals well, I guess we can just go to the halfway point, can't we?
Yes, yes, yes.
And they do one less than the halfway point, actually. However, that is at half resolution, so I think, or 1/4 resolution rather. So that would be 60, because it's 15 values in.
Mm-hmm.
And we want, so they're doing steps of 8, so we would be doing steps of 2. So I think it would just be I times 2 divided by 256.0, right?
Yes.
And then this would just be 1.0 for full. Drowse says, who uses tables for their pans? Mine are in the cupboards. Alright, hopefully this doesn't blow anyone's ears out. Apologies in advance. Ah, no ear blowing at all. We did get a cutout there. Yeah, so there's still something weird happening for sure.
That might be just the sustain though.
That is possible. Um, yeah, I'm pretty confident in this calculation here, matching retail. Um, I'm actually going to just examine it real quick. No, okay. So this is not right. Um, So this should be less than or equal to 60, and I guess that should be 4. Yeah, that looks right. Um, just thinking about this for a second. So, if we pan hard left, I think this is backwards, actually, because pan of 0 is left, right?
Pan of 0 is left.
Yeah, so we want this channel to be 127 minus pan, because that would make it maximum when pan is 0, and that would make this minimum when pan is 0.
Yeah, I just ordered it the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this isn't going to work, but this should be better. Yeah, so that did sound better during the initial part of the song. Um, let's also load up a a different song and see how they're sounding. I did notice that the pan was very, very aggressive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just like proof that it was working. What I probably meant by the panning in the
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
because you need to get it in radians and oh wait, I didn't put the oh I'm dumb. I didn't put the I there.
Yeah, so this is actually sounding much better now that the panning is matching retail. Okay, end of song. Let's try the title screen music. Side drums. They sound a lot more natural now. And the whoosh noise moving from left to right is not nearly so aggressive.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try and I'm probably gonna make it some toggle for the actual
Yeah, I have no issue with
position
that.
for Pam. Because the way they did pan is quite dumb.
Yeah,
Like that's not how panning actually works in real life.
yeah.
Because just because you move something to the left doesn't mean the right channel should get weaker. Actually, both of them should get weaker, just at a different proportions.
Hmm. Yeah, it's quite odd how they did it, but yeah, that works. That works for now. Now the question is, what the hell is going on
It what?
with the inventory menu music?
Okay, let me give it a listen.
I think we're gonna have to analyze the messages that it's receiving there.
Uh, okay, so are those mostly resets, right?
It looks like it. So most of them are resets, but then sometimes we see these batches of new voices being allocated.
There's one thing I have been wondering about, and that's if you're resetting, if the ADSR value should be set to 0, or if it should stay on the current value.
Here's something maybe interesting. It seems to keep it seems to be allocating these in batches of 2. Then you'll see a key on reset on those 2 voices, as well as a key on reset on the previous ones. Then it allocates more. And you see a reset on those. And then it's reset on all of those channels. 14, 15, 14, 15. Yeah, 11, 12, 13. We see 14, 15, 14, 15. Then we're allocating 2 more.
And thinking those are the multiples play thingies.
And then allocating more again. And then again. Resetting on those. And then eventually it fails. Hmm.
Did you check what's in the instrument layers for when it's playing?
What exactly do you want me to check?
Actually, in the instrument, in the instrument, what value is set as the if it's set to play multiple layers or a single layer?
Yes, I want to check something very quickly here, just out of curiosity. Thanks, Chocolate. Yeah, it's been mostly a leopard working on this, and then every once in a while I just pop in and kind of give my 2 cents on it. Okay, so that was not it. But it was worth checking, because there is handling for if velocity is 0 in the retail sequencer. So you wanted me to check the layer and see if those instruments have the FF flag, or no, the
The
80
80 flag.
flag. Um, yes. Is that in here? No. That is in here. Okay, we'll just put a conditional breakpoint. So we are seeing that. Um, so we have a layer count of 2. So I wonder what would happen if we force this to false. I'm pretty sure that's used in the title screen theme too, though. Yeah, so that is causing it to overflow. Okay, no, it's just causing it to overflow faster. I'm 99% sure that the issue is just simply that we're failing to deallocate a voice for some reason.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, 2G, I think that was just because we were only playing part of the sounds. I did notice that as well in the monitor. The way that some of these instruments work is that they're set up to play multiple instruments as a single instrument, and often they will, pan one instrument slightly to the left and one slightly to the right so that they don't kind of mesh and cause weird artifacts. Um, so how do you detect that the ADSR is 0 and deallocate the voice?
Okay, if you go to my IntelliJ, I closed it. If you go into ADSR, I think it's envelope.
Okay,
No, it's in ADSR phase.
okay.
And if you scroll down, there's a target, right? And if you go to ADSR, actually, it's ADSR envelope where it's going to be calculated. See the get, then at the end it checks if the next phase is decreasing.
I swear I renamed this variable, like, and then committed it. What happened? It's literally right there. Please hold. Am I losing my mind? Uh, what is happening? Do I need to check the branch? Right there, line 28. What is happening?
Just IntelliJ things. It just refuses to have it named anything else than Hatchet.
What is happening? We're on the right branch. This is game, sound SFX, and ADSR envelope. It's right there. It's not IntelliJ. Okay, what happens if I switch branches? I am so very confused. Do I have to manually prune all of them? Okay, this is a bit of a tangent, but I have no idea what's happening.
Maybe you called the git garble command.
it's there.
I mean, the IntelliJ has spoken. Or it's no
I
longer that. It's been removed from the.
What happens if I change this? Why am I set to rebase? Why do I have a feeling that's what caused it? What's even going to happen if I commit this?
I mean, it was a quantum typo. It's like a spin. You just had to do it 2 times.
It lost other changes that I made to this as well. Yeah. This is concerning. Oh, it's doing a brutal build. Okay, I gotta wait for it to finish loading here. This is literally the first time in my entire career that I have seen what might be a real Git issue and not just user error. I'm not saying it definitely isn't user error, but whatever's happening is really weird. Okay, so we've got that. We do not have the other changes. Um, that was offsets. We do have these changes. What about voice? That's there. But my changes to ADSR envelope are not. What happens if I check out this commit directly? Nope.
It reset it to the target is reset again.
Yeah, and so are all the other changes I made here. Ah, it was in sound final, apparently. There is almost an exact clone of that class.
Oh yeah, yeah there is.
Okay, that explains it. Problem solved. Gets perfect.
I need to use that, but I needed to have two of those things for reference.
Don't worry everyone, Git is still perfect.
Okay, which means the cutting might not have been resolved. You should maybe try to listen to it again.
Yeah. Nothing?
There might be an issue when you're reloading this that it doesn't get the correct device.
Nope, it's caused by that.
How is that so absurdly large? Um, Let me double check that I'm doing the get strap 11 minus get shift.
Okay, get shift is 0, so this is shifted left by 11.
Oh wait.
Is that just not loaded yet? No, shift is final. Oh, it was already a boss fight.
Okay, I'm gonna check the phases again that everything is correct.
Um, you used the calculation for ADSR step, which is applied to current level, not the counter.
Oh, right. And the counter is the IDSR cycles. Oh,
But that's going
that
to
would
be
explain.
0.
That
That's
would
just
explain.
going to evaluate to 1 since shift is 0.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
So
correct.
should I just set it to
But
1 then, or do I need to calculate
no,
it?
no, no, set it to the calculation. It might be different for different values.
Okay. And then that will be phases 0 dot shift. Nope. It does not like being set to 1.
To why? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, you know what might happen? If the current level is 0, it might immediately cut it off somewhere.
Yes, it does.
Just try to eat this line. It's not really necessary.
You want me to remove this?
Yeah. The ADSR envelope should handle that automatically by setting the target to 15.
So I didn't hear any crackling.
Uh, I was listening to the soundtrack, and I'm thinking that it is like actually cutting off like that. There is just some sustain below it that kind of muffles it.
Yeah, that is possible, but I am still thinking that the sustain is not, or sorry, the ADSR is not cutting off correctly or something. So what tells a voice that it's okay for it to deallocate?
When you get to release and you finish release, it goes to the off state.
Um,
Then it should deallocate on the next take.
so there's nothing actually reading to see if it's off.
Let me check how this is handled. Or did I eat this from the... Did I actually eat it from this branch? By accident.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain there's nothing actually checking the state of the ADSR.
Okay, take. If it's empty... Okay, so it's getting removed. Okay, the line that was checking the ADSR value if it's less than 16, that
Hmm.
was checking it. So instead of rolling that back, just do if the ADSR envelope is off and set empty to true. You have to get the states.
Oh, right, yeah.
And this might be tricky because
Oh, you don't have this in the interface.
Mhm. Maybe don't get state,
Is
maybe
finished or something.
yeah, exactly like that.
Oh,
You need to
yeah, it
add that
needs to
to the
be.
interface.
And just need to add annotation. Is finished. Okay. And can handle that there.
You need to handle that after. It's better if you handle that after the get.
Is it?
Yes.
Right, because I suppose that's where it transitions, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
We might want to change this to process or something, or tick maybe.
Yeah. Probably think it's better.
Hmm. So it still looks basically the same.
But did we overflow?
What?
Did it overflow or?
Yeah, it overflowed the voice pool. Let's see if this is actually getting called. It's very suspicious that not a single voice is finished.
Because it's resetting them all of the time.
Okay, we got a finish on... How do I see what voice this is?
Uh, this won't be so simple.
We don't have an index here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might, when we create the voices, we might want to pass the index into the voice itself.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey Drew, what's up? Okay, so let's see which voice this is. Oh, god damn it, this is channel, not voice. Oh, right, we're in this, obviously. Okay, index 15. But 14 was not deallocated.
But it can have a different ADSR envelope.
Yeah, for sure. It is curious though because they were allocated simultaneously. That is a very large counter.
Yes, it does not look.
That's our issue. 100%. That's a lot of ticks. So it's sitting in the decay phase for really long.
I wonder if there's an issue somewhere in the creation of decay itself. The target looks fine.
Is a shift of 31 normal?
Shift. Let me check. No, I don't think 31 is. Yeah, 31 is the max value.
Okay.
Let me consult the no cache documentation. It's a 0 to 1F.
Okay.
And 1F is 31. If yeah, 1F is 31.
So I'm 99% sure that's got to be the issue, right? I don't see how that could not be the issue.
Okay, is there an issue with an exponential decay then? ADSR step times level divided by 8000 hex. That's correct.
Okay.
Oh, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
If the current level, let's say ADSR step is wait, what is it? No, 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 no. I'm thinking if there's some kind of rollover issue.
I wonder what an unreasonable amount for this would be. Well, let's think about this for a second. If shift is in fact 31, then that's 2 shifted
And
left by 20. That's a large number. Or sorry, 1 shifted left by 20.
that is a very large number, yes.
That's that.
One shifted left should be very, very large number, yes. But that doesn't fit inside of the values, right?
Hold on. Decay shift is 0 to 0f.
Uh-huh. So try changing that, yeah. Shouldn't all of them 0 to 0f then?
I don't think so. Let's take a minute to just verify these. Let's verify the shifting that's happening here. So the shift is, yeah, bits 10 to 14, 1f, that's correct. Now, decay step for attack, or sorry, step for attack is bits 9 to 8, yep, and 3, that is correct. And exponential is just, yeah, checking bit 15. That's correct. So let's look at decay mode. Um, always exponential, always decrease. Decay shift is bits 4 to 7. So yes, this is wrong. Step is always minus 8. Okay, sustain mode. We're looking at bit 15 on the high. That is right. Direction is, that's going to be bit 14. Oh, there you, okay, you're pulling it out there. Okay. The step is, yeah, it's 10 below the high bit, so that would be 6, yep. And the shift is 8, yep, okay, that's right. And now for release, we're looking at bit 5 for exponential. Um, direction is always decrease. Yep. And then the shift should just be, yeah, that's right. Okay. This might fix it. Might. I'm actually pretty confident this is gonna fix it. I am seeing lower voice indices there. Alright, fingers crossed. No? Come on.
Uh, wait. There's n plus 1 on the level, right?
Yes. So
So that
that's
should also
that's
be
incorrect.
fixed. Oh, that should just make it worse rather than.
You would think. No, I'm not sure that it would. Let's give this another try and see what happens. Wow, that's definitely worse. I mean, it's definitely allocating fewer voices. But they're getting cut off way too soon. And it's still overflow. Oh no, okay, it didn't overflow, it just got to the end of the song. Yeah, the chill version. Okay, so Illepri, I am now very curious if this is right and there's something wrong elsewhere. And it may have been programmed anticipating this to not have that +1. Because I
That
mean,
is a very good question.
it's very specifically +1 here.
Yeah.
I am, however, thinking we should probably make this a job for another day because I've been up since 5:30 and it's now 10:30 at night and it's probably what, like 3 or 4 in the morning for you.
Yeah, half past 3 a.m.
Yeah. So, we're both pretty tired and we've already made very significant progress here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a very strong suspicion that this is the issue. I feel like this is probably right, and some other code somewhere that uses the target value uh, is now wrong.
But that's only getting the gets.
I don't know. Um, so I'm going to revert that for now, and I'm going to sound test. I'm just going to leave that message there,
Should be
and
+1 because if it goes, it should theoretically go to the max value.
yeah, yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, we should. I'm going to commit this code, and we should leave it at that for tonight. Oh, it's not a game over. It's just a second phase. All right. Before we go, does anyone have any questions, or do you have anything to add, Elepri?
Not really.
All right. I'll wait for 1 minute just so the people in chat can respond if anyone has any questions.
This is the file that has this is the 5 file song, right?
Yes. It's all right, Doom. You can watch the VOD if you're interested. We did make a lot more progress, so it's pretty interesting stuff. Nothing as hilarious as the bagpipes or the pipe organ, but you know, some background stuff. Oh, look, 2G. Speak of the devil, it's Nightbot. Just
Yeah,
just in
I
time.
I think that we have already got past like the most glaring issues with the sound engine,
Yeah, I think you're right.
so I don't expect anything hilariously bad anymore.
Yep. All right. Well, uh, I think we'll call it a night now. So I would just like to take a minute to thank my Ko-fi supporters, my founders J-Man001 and Deningrad, my researcher Zach, and my mercenaries Vorthod, Doom Metal, Platinum Surge, and Milk Lizard, as well as the huge $108 donation that I received from Roanzoner last Friday. If anyone in the chat wants to support this project, there is now a link in the chat from Nightbot, and I hope everyone